So Cut Opening Pro is professional version that allows you to make openings around the ducts, pipes, cable trays, and conduits in walls, floors, roofs, ceilings, beams, and columns, and structural beams and structural columns. So now I'm going into Revit. Here I have a project with different situations, with all situations that are possible with Cut Opening Pro. As you see, here are cable traces and pipes and ducts and conduits that goes through structural frames. And actually, there could be different situations with sloped frames or with sloped decks or pipes. I mean, still the tool will handle with that kind of situations. And you can have different kind of structural frames. Let's say it doesn't matter what kind of profile, if it's steel or concrete, still you will be able to make such openings. Then we have a situation with ceilings. So also the ceiling can be with a slope, or it could be just flat ceiling. The same situation with the roof. The same with the floor category, and with the wall. As you see, your ducts and pipes can go with a slope through that wall. And here I have different situations with structural columns. It doesn't matter, it could be a concrete or steel, and it doesn't matter what kind of profiles you have. Also, Cut Opening Pro can work with the links. It doesn't matter actually what kind of link you have. It could be the link, it could be architectural project linked into MEP file, or MEP file can be linked into architectural project. Actually, it doesn't matter. It will work with both links. So now I'm going to show an example with a link. So here I have in one my Revit, here I have very simple architectural project with a few walls and the floor. And in my second Revit, here I have the link. So this architectural file is linked into my MEP project. And here additionally I added some just few ducts and pipes. So let's make those openings here if I have a situation with the links. First is I want to say that after when you have Cut Opening Pro installed in your computer, you can find this installation under separate Tools for Revit, Create and Modify tab. So here this is Cut Opening Pro. Before working with Cut Opening Pro, you have to find interferences, and you have just to go into Collaborate, run interference check, and here you have to pick the categories. In one side you have to pick MEP categories, and another side it should be structural or architectural categories. So let's select pipes and ducts from the current project, and from the link we will pick walls and floors. So right now I have an example with such link, but as I said before, it doesn't matter. I mean, your MEP categories can be linked into architectural project. I mean, the link can be created in the opposite way if necessary. I mean, it doesn't matter. So here I have filtered floors and walls from the link project, and in the left side I selected ducts and pipes. So after pressing OK, with Revit we got some interferences. So let's export that interferences into separate HTML file. OK, and now we're ready to start with Cut Opening Pro. So let's go into Read Interference Check Data, and we have just to select the file that we have exported before. So it's just the same HTML file. Okay, and now we get the list with all openings that should be created. With a green color, with a green row, you will see architectural or structural category as a floor or wall or beam or column. And with the orange color, you will get MEP category like pipe, duct, cable tray and conduit. Actually, in my project, if you don't want to see those MEP architectural categories, you can switch them off. I mean, you can go into, you can switch show openings hosts. Now you will get only the list with the ducts and pipes. As you see in my 3D view, the tool automatically creates a section box around my MEP element. If it's necessary, I mean, you can leave that as it is, but also you can switch that off if you want to see the whole project as it was before. So right now, when you select the elements from the dialog, you will see that selection in the project. But if the dynamic section box is switched on, then the tool automatically will make a section box for you, or just you could check where that pipe is created, pipe or duct or cable tray. So it's very handy with a huge project. Okay, now I will switch that off in my case. And let's add a cut offset. So it will be additional offset around the duct or pipe. So it will be a small distance between the duct and the opening. So let's additionally add cut offset value. You can go with the right-click menu and go into change selected parameters. So let's change the value. Right now, my project is metric, so that's why I'm adding those values in millimeters. At the same time, the tool will create, and you can check here the opening shape. The opening shape will be exactly the same as the duct or pipe shape. So if it's round pipes, then you get the round opening. But if you want, you can change it as well. I mean, right now, the tool will create, and the opening shape will be exactly the same as the element shape, but you can change that to any shape you need. If the duct or pipe will have insulation, then the cut offset value will have also the same insulation, the same value. So you will not need to change that anymore. I mean, the tool will copy insulation thickness to cut offset column. Now we have only 9 openings in my project. The tool will create only 9 openings. But if you have the huge amount of openings, you can make a filter. I mean, in the left side of menu, you can filter just the openings you want. I mean, also you can make a filter with right-click menu. You can just press on the right-click menu and just select with filter by selected data. So right now, only the pipes for, only the openings for the ducts will be created. So you can filter openings you want. At the same time, there are default parameters here like level, category, family type, cut offset, opening shape, insulation thickness, and insulation type. So there are default columns. If you want to see more additional columns, then you can go into select MEP parameters, and in the left side you will be able to select additional parameters like mark, or maybe size of the opening, or the system name if it's needed. Now let's save that data into separate XML file. So we are going to save that information into separate XML files. It will be ducts, pipes with walls and floors. Okay. And we are ready to go into architectural project. As we have the link, so now we have to send that XML file to the architect or structural engineer, and they need to add those openings. I mean, you have to have connection with the original linked file. You have to open the link because the opening has to be added only to architectural or structural category like wall, duct, wall, floor, roof, or ceiling. So you have to open the original file, with all those elements. Now we're going again into Cut Opening Pro, and now we're going into Insert MP Openings. But before that, I just want to add some notes about configuration settings. Here in the configuration dialog, if necessary, you can join openings into one opening. For example, if the openings that are touching together and they're very close together, so you can join them automatically. You can also add some join offset between those openings, and the tool will join them for you. Also, here, this is very handy setting where you can eliminate some small sizes. Let's say if your pipes are really very tiny and you want to eliminate them from the project, you can just add minimal opening size, width, height, or diameter. So here in that configuration settings, you can just add additional settings how those openings should be created, or maybe some openings should be eliminated from the project. Now I'm going into Insert Openings, and here I have to pick XML file that I did before. Okay, so that's it. The same scenario, you have the same information as before. You have information about the host in the green row. Then in the orange row, you can see the MEP category like pipe or duct. You can get the same cut offsets and the same settings from MEP project that we did before. And that's it. Now we can add those openings. So in the left side menu, you can press on the status. In the left side of the menu, you will get the status of the opening. So now the tool is saying me that those openings has to be created as new openings. So now if I'm going to create them, I have to press the right click menu, and we can insert those openings into the project. But here I want to show you one more trick if you have huge projects. If you want to be sure, and if you want to make openings just piece by piece, according to some filters, so then you can click on the category or on the setting you want. For example, let's create openings first only for the floors. So we can press on the floors, and we can press on Insert Openings. So that's it. Only one opening is created. And right now on the left side of the tree, we have two statuses. Here we get the list of openings that should be created. There are 8 rows, so 8 rows, 8 openings should be created. And one opening is created already. Okay, so we have it already in the project. And the opening will be already displayed with a green color. So everything is okay. We have that opening already in the project. So now we can continue, and we can just press on all that status. So we can press on all that 8 openings. So let's insert them into the project. There are 8 openings created, and that's it. All those rows are green, so we have 9 openings in the project, and we can see it here. So let's close the dialog. We have here those openings, and let's save this project. Now I'm going into MEP file, and here we have to update the link. So I'm going into the Manage Links, and I will reload this. So that's it. We have those openings in the project. And here we have the opening for the floor, and here we have the openings for the walls.
Renata, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay, by the way?
Yes. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens if you have ducts that are sloping? Does it still calculate a proper cut?
Yes. As you see, here I have the pipe with a slope. And still it makes an opening for me. uh, here we have the opening and it's still okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, you can make the openings with the slopes, and I will show you later with one more project that I was showing in the beginning. There were different situations with the slopes and yeah, with the angles. So maybe later it will
Okay.
be more easier to understand. Okay.
Okay.
So now, if we will try to check if everything is okay, I mean, if I'm going in to run interference check, and if we're going to find again collisions, so there are no interferences detected, so everything is okay right now. What happens if we do any changes with our project? Let's say I'm going to move that duct, or I will add additional, for example here, I will add additional pipe. If we did some changes with the MEP project, what we have to do? Actually, we have to do the same steps as we did before. We have to go into run interference check. We have to find again interferences between the categories we need. I mean, I can repeat the same categories. We have to export that information into updated HTML file. We have to go again into read interference check data. I have to pick updated HTML file. Okay. Yeah, we see that we have changes with three elements. With the three openings. I will change the cut offset value right now, and we are going to save that information into updated XML file. So it will be a new XML file, and it will be updated. So now let's close the dialog. We have to go into MEP project. I'm sorry, architectural project. We're going again into insert openings or update openings, and we have to browse updated XML file. I'm sorry. So that's it. Here the tool will you will see different statuses. So the tool will let you know that for those two openings we have to change position. We have changed position, you know, and the tool let us know about the changes that we did before. So architect or structural engineer will know what exactly you did before with your MEP elements. So let's say if we have such status, we can press with right-click menu and we can update that opening. And as you see, the opening will be automatically moved. The same with one more new opening. So let's insert that. So one more additional opening was inserted. And that's it. All those rows are displayed with a green color. We have right now 10 openings in total. And that's it. We can close the dialog. And we have that opening here, and we have those openings here that were moved. So let's save again the project. Let's update the link. And that's it. Those two openings will be moved, and here we have created additionally one more opening. Also, if you try to do any changes in the architectural project, let's say I will change the sizes of my opening. Let's say I will make some changes here. Also, I will move the opening here, or I will pick new host for this opening. Let's say maybe accidentally, but our architect or civil engineer will do some changes with the openings. So next time when we go into modify or insert openings, here the tool will let you know about those changes. So the tool will let you know that this opening, for this opening we decided to change dimension, and for this opening we decided to change the host, and then we decided to change position. And with the right-click menu, you can decide what you are going to do. You can agree with the last changes, or you can undo last changes. So if I press on undo last changes, so the tool will move the opening exactly to the place where it should be. Or the same with the change the host. If I will undo last changes, so the tool will move the opening to the previous position, and now we will be always sure that all our openings are created exactly according to XML file that is correct. Okay, and the same with change dimensions. Okay, so let's try. I will come back into my previous project. Let's say here, if we have different situations with different slopes and well, like here, yeah, we have different here situations. So, and if all elements are created in one project, so we're going again into run interference check. I'm sorry, I was press escape. Yeah. So we're going to find interferences between pipes, ducts, conduits, cable traces from the current project, walls, structural frames, columns, roofs, floors, and ceilings. Okay. So let's export that into separate XML file. Let's read that data. Okay. Here we have 232 openings that should be created. Just for making it more nicer right now, I will change just cut offset where we could see those openings better. And that's it. We're ready to insert them. And as you see, in my case, in this project, all those ducts and pipes, they are created in the current project. So I don't need to save that into a separate XML file because all those elements are in my current project. So I can go directly go to insert and modify openings without saving any XML files. And that's it.
On that, sorry, Vanessa.
Yeah.
On that note, so basically, if you are the architect or the engineer and the openings are being cut on your walls or your floors, you don't need to save an HTML file for that, right?
You're right. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
As in my case right now, I just pressed on go to insert and modify openings, and here I am on the dialog, you see, and I don't need to make any XML files. So I can go with right-click menu here and I can insert the openings without creating additional any XML files. So that's it. Right now.
So sorry, the second save file then is only if mechanical, electrical, plumbing, they decide to create the HTML file, then they send that to everybody else who needs to cut the openings.
If you only for the cases if you have links.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because let's say if you're an MEP engineer, you don't have original walls and floors, you know, you can't create the openings because you don't have the wall, you know, you don't have the element where to put those openings. So that's why it's reasonable to create XML file and then send that XML file to architect or structural engineer. Okay, yeah, for some cases, yeah, one opening should be skipped, so the tool will let me know about it. Maybe just for one opening, it was not it was not reasonable to create one opening, so the tool will let you know about this message. And that's it. We have created the openings. Now the tool will update the dialog for us. So as I said before, I mean, if you have a huge project, for example, with 1,000 openings, maybe it would be reasonable to make and create them piece by piece. I mean, you can create only first for the floors and then for the walls, so another part for the ceilings or for other categories. So that's it. Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to tell the guys that are listening. Yeah, when I tested this at 2-week trial, I did the openings for Medicine Hat, and it took about an hour and so to do all the openings at once. So it's a good idea to either do it in parts or do it right before lunch hour.
Well, yeah, because yeah, if it's because the principle from the tool, I mean, how the tool is creating those openings, the tool is just adding those openings just one by one. Just this is a quicker process than it usually takes for you. I mean, it's automatic process, but still, the tool have to add those openings one by one. So that's why it's the same process. So if you have a huge amount of openings, it's recommended to create them, yeah, according to some groups. So that's it. We have those openings here, and let's check, for example, the situation like this. You see, if you have the slope here, and the column or beam, it goes with the angle. Still, here you have such kind of opening. Now, every opening is regular, just generic model family. I mean, this is, you see the category is generic models. So it's just regular opening. If we would go into edit family, you see this is just the regular opening with kind of maybe 20 additional parameters. So if you want to add additional parameters to your openings, you can add them here into the family, and you can save them into for your future project. Also, if you want to add additional symbols to your plan views or to your section views, also you can add it here. Because if I will come back into my previous project, and if I will go into the plan view, yeah, it's architectural project. Okay, so the tool will, you see that the tool will show you some symbols in the plan view or in the section view. If you're not satisfied with that, I mean, you can, anytime you can come into the family and you can edit that family, because it's just created in the very simple way. You can add your own symbols, so how you want to present those openings in the plan view or in the section view. At the same time, you can add tags on such kind of families, and you can add them into your schedules. Okay. Yeah?
Renata, I have a question. If you did change and update these families and save it to your Revit project, can we reuse this to another one? Let's say, would Cut Opening Pro see those changes that we used before and use it to a new project?
Ah, okay. Then you have to save the family into location where the library is. Usually, when you are installing your Cut Opening Pro, it suggests you to install into the program data. As I remember, tools for Revit. No. Yeah, maybe this one. Tools for Revit, Cut Opening Pro, and here you have metric or imperial libraries, and there are two of those families. So next time when you start your project, the tool will take the families from here, from the metric form from Imperial Library. So if you will save those families into that location, so the tool will take them and your families will be updated in your new project. Okay?
Oh, wow, that's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, so you have to save those families into this location. But just check where exactly, during the installation process, where exactly Cat Opening Pro is installed. And put those families into this metric or Imperial library. And next time when the tool, because every time when the tool is adding the families, the tool is loading those families from this location. Yeah, from this library. Okay. And one more possibility in Cat Opening Pro is that you can join the openings into one opening. Let's say I can filter, for example, those two generic model openings, and later, actually, if they're not joined together, you can just press on them, join openings, and the tool will join them for you. So also, it's additional possibility if you want to join openings into one opening additionally later. Okay. So I think that's all for now about Cat Opening Pro. Maybe you have more questions?
I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but this is the time to ask. I think I'm good with your explanation.
Okay. Actually, later, if you have any kind of questions later during the testing process, then let me know, and we can make additional meeting for additional session. I mean, for Cat Opening Pro after you will do some testing for testings. Okay.
Now, the other question I have for you is
Renata?
when would we be getting the licenses?
I don't know, actually. Gitana, my colleague, should send you the licenses. I will ask her, okay? After the meeting, I will ask her because I'm not sure.
Okay, or I can contact them directly as well.
Yeah, because...
I can contact her directly as well.
Okay, yeah, because she's responsible about the licenses. So she will provide you, she will send you some serial numbers or something, yeah.
Renata, I have a question again. I just want to know if there are manuals like procedures how to use this Cat Opening Pro. Would they be provided for us if we're gonna? Okay.
Yes, every tool has eHelp in the end. If you go into the eHelp, here you can find a video about the product and also the technical documentation. This is really detailed technical documentation about every functionality, and it's really described and as you see, the same example I'm using in the video and the technical documentation. So there are just step-by-step explanation how to make those openings, how to work, what every color means, so it's really detailed technical documentation, so you can anytime read that.
Okay, how about technical support in case we bumped into some technical issues?
Anytime you can email me. I will answer all the questions, or we can make an additional session for you with answering all your questions. No problem at all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Renata.
Okay. Now, next product that we have to go through is Smart Browser Pro. But before that, I just want to say that we have 4 browsers, but today maybe I would like to focus on Smart Browser. That is simple one, and one more is Smart Browser Pro, is professional version of the browser.
I think it's...
Yeah?
Sorry, I think it's the professional version that we were looking at.
Okay, good. So I'm going back into my project, and again, Smart Browser Pro you can find under the Tools for Revit Create and Modify tab. First, you have Smart Browser Pro. It goes for managing your families that are located in your library. With that solution, you can, as you see here in my screenshot, with that solution you can very easily add additional parameters to your families. You can change the values, you can rename them, you can delete parameters. So it will be very easy solution, actually easy solution for modifying your families. So now I'm going back into my Revit. And first we have to prepare our library. So first we have to go into the browser options. Now in my case, here I have just one sample hotel library with maybe 15 different families. And now right now we will add that information to our browser. So with the browser options, we have to select the main folder. Now we're going to select my sample hotel library. Okay, and the start button is the main button. So after pressing start, the tool will start reading the families. So the tool will read all the parameters and parameter values, all the types, and the tool will put that information into the separate XML file. So here you have to say where that XML file should be created. So it's recommended actually that XML file should be stored somewhere on the network, somewhere on the common location. I believe that your families are also somewhere on the network, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So the XML file should be stored somewhere on the network too. Here, after pressing start, additionally the tool will create additional PNG and DWF files. So also here you have to pick the folder where those additional files should be added. For this kind of additional files, you can create additional folder like for PNG and DWF files. And that's it. So the main, you have to add the link to your library, then you have to add the link for where your XML file will be located. So this is very important. That XML file is very important because later all other users will be able to use the same XML file. And additional folder for PNG and DWF files. Now let's press start, but also just in the beginning maybe don't create those additional DWF files because that process will take much longer. I mean, in the beginning, maybe switch off that possibility because those files, they're not really mandatory and you can create them later if needed. So now let's create start. Let's press start. Here you have to add the company name and the person name who's trying to create that XML file. Also, you can add some short description and some notes about your families or about your library. And let's press OK. So now, as you see, the tool opens every family and it reads all information about your families, about parameters and parameter values, about the types, about the category. So that process will take some time. So you have to leave that process per night or during the weekend. I mean, you have to do that process during the weekend because if you have a huge library, so it will take some time, you know. So, and that process has to be done just one time and just for one user. Because later that XML file can be shared with other users. So that's it. Right now we have 16 families. We can close this dialog. And here we can check that we have the XML file. And if I will try to open that, okay, let's open it as it is. You see here you will get really detailed information about every your family. So that XML file is very important. Now we can go into Smart Family Browser and we can check if everything is okay. So now the tool will open all those families for us. So we have those 16 families, and when we press on every family, we will see the types that are created in the family, then parameter names and parameter values. If there will be some formulas, then you can check the formulas here. Parameter types and the units if there are assigned to parameters. So here you will get really detailed information about every parameter and parameter value. If parameter value will be displayed with a white color, then you can know that this is instance parameter. If it's gray, then it's type. If parameter name will be displayed with a blue color, then you can know that this is shared parameter. So you will be able to use that later in your tags and schedules. In such case, you can have several XML files. As you see, one file here I have for my door library, another file I have for my Autodesk Imperio library. So in your Smart Family Browser, you can have several XML files that points to different libraries. Okay, so now it's preparing for me the library. Yeah. So as you see, here we have, in this case, in this library I have 2,700 families. And when you decide that this is the right family and you want to load this into the project, you can just with drag and drop, you can load the family into the current project. And the family will be automatically selected, so you will not need to find that additionally. I mean, it will be automatically selected. And Smart Family Browser will work like external application, so you will not need to close the dialog. You will be able to work with the project and still Smart Family Browser will be always here. Now let's take a look into the left side of the dialog. Here we have browser organization. Actually, now you will get the list in the same way as you have it in your folders. I mean, right now you will get the folder, you will see the folder system. But if you want to make it differently, maybe you want to see the real categories or the units, so you can go into browser organization and you can change that tree. Let's say we want to see the real categories, the host or the version of the families or the unit systems. So now, after pressing OK, the tool will group all those families according to the real categories and then the host type. So here we have cable tray fittings that are all point-based, but if we look into the casework here, so we have the casework category, but we can filter only point-based families or only wall-based families. And now we will be always sure that those families, they are really wall-based. The same with lighting fixtures, for example, we can have them all, but at the same time we can filter according to the ceiling-based or face-based, point-based or wall-based families. Additionally, you can make a search. You can make search according to the family name, parameter name, price or version, or parameter value. So we can make a search according to parameter name that contains material, and parameter value that begins with or ends with, for example, begins with steel. You can make search in all catalogs. Okay, that's it. We have 103 elements. And here we can check and we can see that the tool found for us all families that contains material parameter, and that the value begins with a steel. So you can make different searches and you can filter any families from the library. Okay, now all the possibilities you can find with a regular Smart Browser or with Smart Browser Pro. Just with Smart Browser Pro, you will be able to modify those families. Okay, let's say we have here windows or kind of doors. So we can select those families. We can go into the right-click menu and we can go into Modify Families. Here we have to add modification name, so it will be window modification, and the person name who's trying to modify those families. That's it. Here you will get the list of all those windows that we selected before. Just every window will be displayed as a separate, every type will be displayed as a separate row. And there will be default parameters as cost, description, manufacturer, and type comments, but anytime you can change that. You can go into select parameters and you can switch them off if necessary. You can add additional parameters if needed, for example, like those. Okay, and then with this dialog you will be able to see the real results and differences between the families. So let's say if we have here sash width, okay, so this is the value in one family, but if we want to have the same parameter in those families, because right now we see with the gray color then there is no such parameter in those families, so we can select those cells, go with right-click menu, and here we can do changes. We can add selected parameter or we can delete parameters. So right now we are going to add selected parameters. Now the tool will create additional sash width parameters, a parameter for all those families. And right now it's displayed with a green color, and we can know that this parameter will be new parameter in our families. So here with the right-click menu, we're adding the tasks, what we're going to do with that parameters or parameter values, and later the tool will do those changes for us. At the same time, if we don't want to have such parameter, so again we can delete that from the dialog. So we can go here and we can add a task to delete such parameter. So it will be displayed with a red color. Then we can make changes with the types. If there are some types that are not right, we can go in here, we can create new types, we can rename types, we can delete types, for example. So we can go here and we can change the value. The same, we can make a filter for the families, because this is the list, the same, very similar like in Excel file. You can make filter, you can select the families, go with right menu, filter by selected data. The tool will filter those families for you, and you can select the values and just you can change them here. So, but still you will get the list of the families as it was before. Just with filtering, you can very easily filter the families and just very easily change the values. Now, every step that you're doing right now, every step will be saved in separate description. So, in the separate dialog, you will get the list of all changes that you are going to do. So, for example, in that day and that time, we decided to add additional parameter for those families and those types. Then we decided to delete such parameter. Then we decided to rename the type. Then we have filtered the families and changed the cost value. So every time you will get really detailed description about modifications you're going to do. So after adding those modifications, you can close the dialog. We're going to save that process. Okay, we can close that browser. Now we're going into run save modifications. Actually, if you want to continue that modifications, you can go into modify families and you can select modification name that we did before. You can press OK, and then you can continue the modifications that we started before. You can add tasks again for the families. But if you want to run the process, you have to go into run save modifications. You have to pick modification that we did before, and there is no any day and time, so it means that we added the tasks, we added some modifications, but they are not done yet. So when we are ready, we can press on OK, and now the tool will open every family that we selected before, and the tool will do those modifications for us. So it will delete the parameter, or it will add additional parameter, or it will change the type, or maybe we'll add additional shared parameters. Okay, so you see that right now the tool opens every family, makes changes, and then saves the family to the current Revit version.
Renata,
Yes?
I have a question. What if you change or modify the families from the Revit file first? Would that how can you update that to your current library? Or does Smart Browser Pro do that too?
Smart Browser Pro makes changes for the families that are on the library, but not on the project. You know, it goes for the families that
But what if you want to
library.
change?
Yeah. If you do some changes
but
in
what
the
if you want to change? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to make some changes in the project and then save it to the library, right? So you have to make changes in the project, and then maybe it would be reasonable just to go here to your families, find the family, maybe like this, yeah. And here on the families, you can save them into the library. So I don't think that you need to have additionally this. I mean, I don't think that additionally you have to use some tool for this. I mean, you can make changes and you can save those families into the library. Also, maybe just for changing the values and parameters for the families that are already used in the project, then we have Vim tree, but it's totally different. It goes for managing parameters and parameter values for the families that are used already in the project. You know, so that's, again, that's different. With the Vim tree, you can select the category, but here you will get the list of categories that are used in the project. So, for example, I can select the pipes, for example, and here I can get the list of pipes. Again, you can select the parameters you want from the left side of the tree, but that goes for changing, and that goes for modifications for the families that are already used in the project, you know. Also with right-click menu you can make changes, but it's not connected with the library, you know. So that's different. Well, yes, so Smart Browser Pro goes for the families that are already in the library. And after, when you run those modifications, you can go directly to Smart Family Browser and you can continue working with your families. I mean, Smart Family Browser will be updated. Also, with Smart Browser Pro, there is possibility to check and update families from library. That is very interesting possibility, where you can find the differences between your library that you prepared before, right, and current project. So first we have to open the project. Let's say right now I have some just very simple project here. I have to pick the library and I have to press Start Checking. So after Start Checking, the tool will find differences between families in the current project and families in the library. Then you will be able to reload those families into the project. Yeah, so like here we got results. So there are such kind of differences between my current my metric library and current project. So here are the differences in the profiles, in the duct fittings, in balusters and pipe fittings here. Also with different colors, you will know what are those differences, if there are new parameter or if there are new types created, because every cell will be displayed with a separate color. So here you can find the differences, and then you can decide what you're going to do. You can override parameter values and you can reload those families into your current project. So in such case, you will know that your projects are always updated according to your library. Yeah, so now the tool is reloading all those families, and let's say if your families are created according to the standard, the tool will reload them, and you will be always sure that everything is okay with those with your project families. There are additional possibilities where you can resave families to your current Revit version if necessary. I mean, it's an additional option, very small option. And there are also extra possibility to create shared parameters in your project, because you know that if you want to add additional shared parameters to your project, you have to go into the Manage project parameters. You have to add those parameters just shared one by one, right? So instead of that, you can go into Smart Browser Pro, create shared parameters, select the category you want, and then select the shared parameter file. So you just need to find the shared parameter file, select parameters you want just from the list. You can say that this one should be instance, this one should be, you can change the group if it's necessary for that parameter, and that's it. So the tool will create additional project parameters, and those shared parameters will be added to your current project. You will not need to add them one by one. So it's shared parameter and it's assigned to Windows category. Yeah, so the main steps with Smart Browser Pro: first you have to prepare your library. You have to go into browser options and you have to create XML file with all families that you have in the library. And then you can go into a Smart Family Browser and you can filter the families you want, and then you can modify them with Modify Families. And later you can run Save Modifications. And if necessary, you can find differences between families in the library and families in the project. Also, there is one more feature in Smart Browser Pro, is Project Family Browser. With Project Family Browser, you will get the list of families that are loaded into your project. Sometimes it's very difficult to find the families if you have different disciplines in one project. Sometimes it's very difficult to find the families. You're going to components, and here architectural and MP components, they are grouped together, you know, and sometimes it's very difficult to find the families you want. With a project family browser, you can have them grouped according to the real category. So it will be very easy for you to find the family you need. And if you want to use the family, you can just with drag and drop, you can just take the family and you can very easily use that family. But at the same time, I want to show you one more feature. With Project Family Browser, you can transfer the families from one project to another. Let's say I will open a new project. I'm going again into Project Family Browser. So I can have and I can see the families from my current project, but at the same time, I can go into my previous project. That is open it right now. I can pick the family I need and just I can very easily transfer the family from one project to another. So with Project Family Browser, you can find the families from your current project, but at the same time, you can transfer them from one project to another. Okay, maybe you have more questions about Smart Browser Pro.
I think we're okay. I'm okay with this.
Okay.
I have no more questions.
So again, I just want to know that every time you can go into the eHelp or how to start, and here you will get really detailed information about every functionality. You can find all the sample videos, and again the technical documentation that is really detailed. You can go through that, but still. You can save your time. You don't need to read that information. You can ask me anytime. I mean, you can email me anytime. And also, if necessary, if you see that it's necessary, we can do extra meeting for this product and I could answer your questions. At the same time, I can check your screen. I mean, I can switch the screen to your screen and I can check what the situation you have or what kind of problems you have. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to say today. Well, the first session was quite of complicated because those products, they are quite kind of big products, so that's why it took more than 1 hour. All other sessions will take, I mean, it will take some shorter time. And right now, I will save the record and I will load the record to the YouTube. So anytime you will be able to review that again.